So you guys load back up into your ship, and the last place you are going is Cape Fang, which is the final destination that Uhtred sent you to when you went on your pilgrimage. Raka, I'm going to have you roll another ride check, and Chan, I'm going to have you roll another balance check. All right, the ride's not amazing.
Guess I'm going to be riding on the actual boat this time.
After some failed attempts by you, you load yourself onto the boat and you guys ride normally. Now, it's not terribly far to Cape Fang, so it's only going to take you a couple of days to get there at this point. But eventually you reach there. It's a seaside port. Mostly, it's a very, very large fishing town. It's probably the biggest fishing town on the eastern coast of the Fire Sand Wastes. As you get there, you can see that there looks like there's dozens and dozens of fishing vessels that are pulled into port. And very far in the distance, you can see what looks like a battleship, a black-scale battleship, that's just kind of parked far enough offshore.
I'm going to start going towards the ship.
All right, so you're going to go down into the town. Kane and Rocker, you're going to follow him?
Yeah.
All right, so you boys are bringing up the rear. So you guys go down into the town, and you see a crowd that is formed. And in the middle of the crowd is kind of an open area, and there's a few black-scale soldiers that are around. And it looks like they have several people that are tied up and have blindfolds on. One of them has already been decapitated, and it looks like they're about ready to do that to another one.
Howdy-o, folks.
You shut up.
All right.
We are here to discover the traitors. We intercepted messages that all of you fishermen have been carrying messages to resistance groups around this continent.
Oh, I know one. He's going to start pointing to Poo-Poo-Na-Poo.
Do I look like a fishman to you, motherfucker?
No, you look burnt to me.
I am. The sun is unbelievable. Do you need any sunscreen, my friend?
I have scales.
Well, I was just trying to be nice.
So he's going to ignore you now because he thinks that you're basically useless. So he's going to look around.
Hold up. I want to know if these guys are converted to the Bassum Ra.
You're going to ask the Black Scales?
Yeah, to talk to the prisoners.
They look at you.
We worship the dragon god, the only god.
Wow. Could your god give you unlimited beanie weenies?
My god gives me fire breath.
Oh, my god, too!
Does not sound like beanie weenies. Doesn't sound like there ain't nothing barbecue about that.
There is one guy that's like behind you that raises his hand. I want beanie weenies.
Awesome! He's gonna slip him a book of the Bassum Ra and start dumping beanie weenies for him.
Yay! All right, so that guy's having a good time, but everybody else seems to be horrified. So, all right, so the Black Scale kind of looks over to the, there's one prisoner who, like I said, has been decapitated. There are 3 more that haven't. He looks over to the first Black Scale and nods his head. That first Black Scale then cocks his sword back.
Can I try to do something?
What do you want to try and do?
I want to deflect the sword with a Bible.
Roll me a dexterity check.
That is a 16.
I'm going to roll a straight d20 for his attack. I'm not going to add anything in addition to that. If he beats it, then he decapitates him. He did not beat it. He rolled an 11. So what happens is this. Chan, you take out a Bible like a throwing star and fling it. As the sword comes down, about to cut the back of the fisherman's head, the Bible hits the Dragonborn on the wrist enough to cause him to dislodge his sword. It then flies out of his hand and lands in the sand. He then looks over to you, and so does the other Dragonborn that was originally talking to you that told you to shut up.
How dare you interrupt this?
If you have noticed, these aren't the guys you're looking for. You're wasting your time to killing innocent people that could easily be just giving you free food.
The Dragonborn then looks over to the second Dragonborn, who is standing next to the second prisoner, and nods his head. He doesn't take his sword back to try and decapitate. Instead, he goes into a bag on his side and takes out a raven. He then releases the raven into the sky.
Oh, that ain't good.
The raven will fly back to our ship. Once it reaches, then the Dragonborn will come to shore and slaughter everyone.
Well, now you guys just sound like a sore loser.
Sore loser? I'm not the one who's about to be skewered and eaten.
I mean, you can either eat me or have a fuck ton of beanie weenies. I'm just saying, man.
He takes out his sword, and the dead guy, the one that's been decapitated, he cuts his arm off, and then he picks it up and uses a little bit of his fire breath to roast it. He then starts eating it.
Oh, that looks good. Can I have a bite?
You eat your own kind.
I mean, I eat black scales. They taste pretty good.
I'm not eating a black scale. We eat our own as well, but only the weak.
So, you.
He's going to use his fire breath to light you on fire now.
Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck.
That is also a cone effect, so if you want to resist it, you're going to have to roll a reflex save.
The power of the Bassum, right?
I will give you a +2.
17 plus a 5 plus a 2. That's over a 20, so.
So I'm going to say you're able to dodge enough, so he kind of burns the area near where you are, but he doesn't burn you. But it's also kind of one of those things you just kind of get the point across that, yeah, don't fuck with him.
Now, before the others arrive, execute the remaining prisoners. The rest of you, if you want to run, we'll take your ships and sink them to the bottom of the harbor.
I'm gonna lean into Mike and Poopa Napu. What should we do?
What do you think I would know? The lizard man comes trying to eat us? That's not a normal Monday, you know. How about we just kill them?
How the fuck are we supposed to kill them?
I
got a fucking rubber sword!
Why the fuck do you have a rubber sword?
I don't know, I thought it was funny.
Does Mike Hunt have any plans?
I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
You're going to shoot the black scale in the face with the crossbow.
Correct.
Roll for attack. All right, that's a 17. That's enough to hit. And you're aiming out. You're also aiming at the face, so that's going to crit. So that's 4 damage. You have an arrow that lodges in the side of the Dragonborn's face. He kind of looks over at you and sees the empty crossbow and immediately realizes what you've done. He pulls the arrow out, which is rather painful for him, and then breaks it in his hand.
I'm like,
all right, yeah, so you just kind of point at Raka. It's pretty obvious anyway, but at least, you have the comedic timing down. He's also very curious about the other one who's just kind of like, standing there, just staring at all this happening. So, Cham, I want you to roll a raw d20 for me. All right, so you rolled a nat 20. So this actually makes this so much easier. So you remember that guy you gave all those beanie weenies to?
yeah.
After a moment, you see a bright flash of light happen behind you, and that man who gave you those beanie weenies is now the most jacked man you've ever seen in your life. And he appears to be in some form of a rage. So he actually runs immediately through the crowd, plows over everybody, and decimates all 3 of the Black Scale warriors that were going to try and kill those people, ripping them limb from limb and using them as paper dolls. In fact, one of them, he actually rips his arm off and then beats him to death with it. After a second, he then returns to his normal form and is unaware of anything that has just happened. However, every other person that is there is very much aware of what has just happened, and he is also covered in gore.
Well, praise the Bassum fucking Ra there, man.
So after the Black Scales have been dispatched, an old crotchety-looking fisherman comes up to his name is Hotchkin, and he looks at it and says, "Oh, well, thank you for killing them. Unfortunately, all of their friends are going to be here in a few minutes to murder all of us. We were running an information network to try and help the resistance movements across the community, but unfortunately, the Black Scales got wind of it. So they sent that battleship over there to, kill all of us, basically, and get information if they could.
I'm just as shocked what I just saw.
So am I, lad, so am I. But when you've been out on the sea for as many years as I have, sometimes you just let it go.
Okay.
We need a miracle, man.
And a miracle you shall have! Yeah!
The Bible in your bag begins to vibrate.
Speak of the devil, man. Look at this.
You open the Bible, and words appear on it. They say, to perform this miracle, you will need 3 things. An ornate rug, fresh sheep shear, and a long stick.
Oh, man, do you got any, sheep shears, ornate rug, and a long stick? Oh, my God, I'm gonna be Moses.
Well, he kind of looks around and says, well, there's some sheep on the other side of town, I think. You might just be able to shave
Quick,
them.
Mike, ornate rug, go. Poo-poo not poo. Giant stick, go. I'll go grab the shears.
All right,
I'm on it, my friend.
All right, so each one of you is going to go grab a piece for this miracle to take place. We're going to start with Raka, then we'll go to Kane, then we'll go to Cham. So, Raka, you're going to go and grab the ornate rug.
All right, so where's this rug at?
You need to find one.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and do what any real redneck would do and search the immediate vicinity for a rug.
Roll me a search check. All right, that's a 10. All right, so you look around and you see what looks like a tailor, or a more or less a seamstress type shop, which might have something like that in it.
I'm gonna go check them out.
You walk inside and you see a little old lady standing behind the counter.
What do you want, Sonny?
Hey, look here. I done came here like 4 or 5 weeks ago to buy me a carpet. And then what had happened is your movers done dropped it out of my house and that son bitch pissed right on it. I want a new damn rug. It better be ornate.
I want you to roll a bluff check. Oh, even with a plus 11. Oh, God. All right, I'm going to roll for him for her intelligence and see if he... That's a nat 1. Hell no. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hang on a sec. I have 3 rugs here. There's a blue one, a red one, and a green one. Which one do you want?
Let me get the green one.
She rolls it up and she gives it to you, so you now have your ornate rug to bring back. Because she's dumb as fuck and rolled a nat 1.
Take that rug back and think he's better than everybody else because he got his job done the quickest.
So, Kane, you have to find a staff.
A specific staff, or can it just be any staff?
It's just a long wooden staff. That's it. That's all you need.
Can I roll a search check to see where any staff might potentially be?
Okay, you can do that. You see an old man in the crowd who appears to be using a staff to walk correctly.
I'm gonna go over to him.
You go up to him.
Excuse me, sir. I need to borrow that staff of yours if possible.
I need this to walk.
All right, I didn't want to have to do this. I pull out one of my Bibles. Oh, Bassum, show me the way to fix this man's walking ability.
I'm going to have you roll a d20. The book opens up and shows you a sentence. I can't help you on this one. Good luck.
All right, my friend, I'm sorry I tried. And then I just grab the stick and run.
Roll a strength check to rip the stick out of his hands and run. He actually can't beat that, so because he's going to take a -4 because he's old. So you immediately grab the staff and you just stiff arm him in the face. He falls over on the ground and you run off with it.
That's fucked up.
I tried. I did.
So Kane, you got the staff by stealing it. All right, so Cham, now you have to go shear some sheep. You already got your information before that there were some sheep on the edge of town, so you just kind of walk out and it's pretty obvious where they are. They're in a pen, so there are sheep there. There is also a shepherd.
Sup, bro? I gotta do something real quick. I go straight for the sheep.
Whoa! He stepped in front of you. Whoa! What are you doing to my sheep?
Power of the Bassum rock compels you. And I hit him in the face with the Bible.
Roll dexterity.
12, that's a 14.
All right, I'm also going to say that's an additional +2 because he's not expecting this. So you whack him in the face with the Bible. That's 1d6 damage. All right, so you whack him in the face with the Bible. He's very confused. He then immediately... He's going to roll a grapple check to grab your arm as you try to run by him. He rolled a nat 1.
So as soon as he tries to grab my arm, I freaking juke him with the Bible. Bang! Power of the Bassum rock.
All right, you know what? Because he rolled the nat 1, I'm going to say that's going to work. So as you press the Bible into his face, it begins to glow.
Repent!
His face changes from a grimacing, painful scowl to an oddly, emotionally satisfying smile before he eventually collapses on the ground with the Bible still smacked into his face. You're free to go get the sheep.
I do the sheep.
What are you going to shear it with, by the way?
With sheep nearby, there should be a tool shed. I'm gonna go to the tool shed, find the shears.
There is a tool shed. You can find the shears. Roll me a search check.
25.
You find a set of old-fashioned sheep shears in there. You're going to have to roll dexterity to shear the sheep.
Okay. That's a natty 1.
All right, that sheep's dead. So you got a bunch of wool, but it's covered in blood.
Fuck it, let's go to the next one.
All right, you go to the next sheep. Roll again.
It's another one!
That sheep is also dead. You have 3 more remaining.
Oh!
All right, next sheep.
Next one.
I'm not going to believe you if you say it's a 1 again.
No, this is 13. Plus the dex, that's a 15.
So the third sheep, third time's the charm. So the third sheep, you do manage to shear off some clean wool that is not covered in blood. And so now you can return. So now that you've gotten your sheep shearings, also, by the way, you are currently covered in blood at the moment. So, Cham, you come back covered in blood with the sheep shear. Kane returns with the staff that he stole from the old man, and Rocca returns with the rug that he luffed his way into procuring from the tailor shop. So now you guys have all of those. So all 3 of your Bibles vibrate again. So all of you open your Bibles, and the same sentence appears on all 3. Somebody must poke a hole in the rug and put it on like a poncho. You must then wear the sheep shear on your head and face as if it was your hair and a beard. Take the staff, get up on the tallest rock that looks out over the sea, and scream, "Oi!" as loud and gutturally as possible.
Alright, who wants to do it?
I will pass.
And I'm gonna let Cham do it.
All right, so Cham, you put on the poncho, you put on the hair, and you grab the staff. You get up onto the rock.
All right. Well, I don't have a good voice, but I'll do the best I can. Oi!
Roll a d20.
That's a 17.
So what happens is this: as you all look out, the fishermen have also gathered into a crowd at this point as well. You can see the black scale vessel as it's starting to come towards you, but you don't see anything else that appears to have happened. After a second, though, you notice the black scale ship begin to shift a little bit, mostly shifting forward, which is odd because the water appears to be clear. And after a second, it disappears as if it was floating over a horizon, but you know it wasn't going away from the shore, it was coming in. And the ship is gone. There's nothing there. It looks like it's disappeared. I'm going to have each one of you roll an intelligence check to see if you've realized what happened.
20, but not a nat.
20, 22, and Cham, what did you get?
I got an 8.
All right, so Cham, being the person who committed the actual miracle, you don't know what happened, but Kane and Raka do. So what you did was you parted the sea, but you parted it, instead of parting it straight across so that you could, walk through it, you parted it across the other way, which made a massive trench leading down to the seafloor that the ship then floated into. The ship crashed down into the ocean, falling to the ocean floor before the walls of water then receded back in on themselves, drowning and killing all of the black scales. The force of that also crushed the ship, pinning anybody that was inside, collapsing on top of them, and making it so that they could not escape their watery death. God has successfully saved Cape Fear and the spy network of fishermen. The fishermen are all in awe, by the way, and there are about 30 fishermen in the village. I'm not going to roll for conversions because they just saw that shit. They're converted. So that's plus 30. Now, as that has happened, Hodgkins goes up to Cham as he's still dressed as Moses.
My God, you killed him. They're gone. It's a
Yeah,
miracle.
Yeah, but I fucked those guys. Those guys are assholes.
Hey, you and me both, brother. I think everybody agrees with that except for the other Dragonborn.
The Bassum Ra show thee the strength. It shall guide you to his holy place.
Everybody bows and prays to the Lord Bassum Ra. You have successfully converted much of the south to the Bassum Ra religion, and that is the end of Scribes of Bassum Ra. It ends in Judaism.
Yes!